Alright boys, sorry for delay. So today we are going to talk about the preparation of the air for breathing in. Now this air which we are breathing in, it contains a lot of germs, it contains a lot of dust particles, right? Right now the temperature is about 11 degrees, right? Our body temperature is 37 degrees. Understand?
Sir, you're not sharing your screen.
Sorry?
Sir, you're not sharing your screen.
No, there is camera on.
So we can't see.
Just a second.
No, you can pause it.
Can you see that now? The screen?
No, sir.
No? Okay.
No.
What about now?
Yes, sir, now you can see.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, boys. So, preparation of the air. So I was saying that the air is colder than our body temperature. There are dust and germs in the air, right? The dust and germs should not enter inside the body. Second, we are living here in Saudi Arabia. It is a dry environment, right? Humidity is very, very low. There must be moisture in the air which we are breathing in for better exchange of gases. Why? I am going to tell you about that later right now. Okay. So the air should be prepared in 3 ways for better absorption of the oxygen into the blood and removal of the carbon dioxide. For that purpose, first of all, there must be removal of dust and germs. Now this removal of dust and germs, this is called as cleaning of air. Right? Second part we talked about, that is moistening of the air. And it includes adding the water vapors. And third is warming of air. As I just discussed with you guys that right now the temperature is 11 degrees, so the air must be warmed accordingly. Now for better understanding, first of all what I'm going to tell you guys, that let's talk about nose. First of all, you guys know that in the nose we have nose hairs. Do you know this or not?
Yes.
Right? So these nose hairs, they are first line in cleaning the air. How do they clean the air? They are the barriers, right? And these hairs, they are charged, right? You see, whenever you guys know that whenever there is friction, a charge is produced, right? So when we are inhaling the air, these hairs, they become charged. And some of the dust particles, they are also what? Charged particles, right? So what happens that these nose hairs, first of all, these are physical or mechanical barrier for the dust. Second, they are charged. So as they are charged, so they will be stopping the charged particles from entering inside the body. So these nose hairs, they will be stopping the particles.
So may I make an announcement?
Yes, quickly.
Anyone wants to take up order go to the way from Yakat house? No? Thank you.
And so, and the charged particles are stopped. Another diagram which I am going to draw over here, that diagram is the internal lining of the nose as well, and the internal lining of the trachea, bronchi and bronchioles as well, right? Now, on the nose and the internal lining of the trachea, bronchioles and alveolar ducts, there is the layer of cells which is called as ciliated epithelium. Have you guys heard about this layer of cells before or not?
Yes.
Right? When you guys were in O levels, you guys learned that there is a layer of cells which is called what? Ciliated epithelium. Now, ciliated means having cilia. Now, if you guys remember, we have learned the structure of cilia in this syllabus, right? And flagella as well. And we have also learned their functionality as well. How do they work? I have also taught you what is the meaning of epi, outermost. And wherever you see the word thelium, it will mean layer of cells. So complete meanings becomes outermost layer of cells that have cilia. So this is the outermost layer of cells in our nose, in our trachea, in our bronchi and bronchioles that have cilia in them. Now, other than this, in between these cells, there are other special types of cells that are also present. Now, these special type of cells, these are called as goblet cells. I'm going to explain you the structure of the goblet cell in detail, right? And just behind this ciliated epithelium, there are blood vessels. And this diagram is not made in your book, right? So I am making it to understand all these three processes, right? Now, boys, what will happen? You guys have learned in O levels as well. Since grade 8, you are learning that goblet cells are the cells that produce what?
Mucus.
Mucus. So these goblet cells, they will produce mucus. And let's suppose this wavy line that I am drawing over here, this is what? This is mucus, right? So let's suppose that this is mucus. Now you guys know that mucus is a sticky substance, right? It's a sticky liquid. And it is produced by the goblet cells. Now, if I draw a goblet cell, a goblet cell looks like this. It looks like a goblet. Now, the question is, what is a goblet? Now, in the Chinese movies, you usually see that they are drinking in a pot like this, right? Old Chinese movies, not the recent ones, right? They are drinking in a pot like this. Now, this kind of pot is called as a goblet, which has a broader base and narrow neck, like a conical flask, right? So, this is called as a goblet. So, if we look at the shape of this cell, it is like that goblet. That's why they have given it the name, the goblet cell. Now, these goblet cells, when we observe them under the microscope, what do we observe? That there are these small vesicles on the base or the upper side of this cell. Now, these vesicles, they are about to bud off from the cell. Now, when these vesicles, they will be budding off from the cell, they will be taking out what with them? mucus. They will be taking out what? Mucus, right? Other than that, boys, that inside the cell, this is what? Nucleus. And they have rough endoplasmic reticulum and huge Golgi apparatus present also in it. Now the internal structure of these cells is modified for the production and release of the mucus. For the production and release of the mucus. And in the mucus there is this substance mucin. Right? That is present in the mucus, that is why it is called mucus, right? And it is a sticky substance. Now just imagine that when the air will pass, now let's suppose that this is the outside and this is the inside. When the air will pass from outside to the inside, first of all there will be nose hairs obviously in the nostrils. Remember, the nose hairs are present in the nostrils. Over here in the nostrils there is no mucosa. Now I use another word right now, mucosa. I have told you this before. Who will tell me? What is the meaning of mucosa? Any membrane that has mucus on it is called mucosa. Any membrane in our body that has mucus on it is called mucosa. So there is no mucus in the nostrils, but above, up over here, right, where the bony part starts, right, there the mucosa is present, there the goblet cells are present. So over here mucus is there, and I just told you mucus is sticky. So what will happen? Dust and germs, they will start sticking to the mucus. And I also told you that this goblet cells and ciliated epithelial cell is not only present in the nose, it is also present in trachea, it is also present in the bronchi, also present in the bronchioles. So the air will be cleaned until or unless it reaches into the alveoli. Because dust and germs, they keep on sticking to the mucus present everywhere. Understood? This is the reason that after some time, your mucus becomes darker in color. You see, whenever you do wudu, you clean your nose, when the mucus comes out, it is sometimes black in color, right? And it is dry as well. The question is, why did it become dry? Now, here the second part comes. Moistening of the air, right? I just told you that the hair in Saudi Arabia or any other place where the humidity is very, very low, the air must be moistened for the better exchange of gases. That's what I'm going to tell you. So what happens that from the mucus, the water particles, they will move by diffusion from higher concentration to lower concentration, and moisture will be added to the air, right? So this is how the gas or the air, it will become moistened. Now first of all, question is why there is requirement of moistening. We have learned the exact same thing in the plants as well. Now let's suppose this is an alveolus, right? We learn in detail that alveoli, they have network of blood capillaries, right? We will learn the structure of the alveolus in detail. Now, on the inside, there is a layer of water. This blue broken line which I am drawing, I am showing the layer of water, right? Now, what happens that when air enters, oxygen molecules first they will be concentrated into the layer of water molecules. Oxygen do not enter into the blood directly. First it will concentrate onto the layer of water molecules. Then from the layer of water molecules it will go into the blood, right? So just imagine If this layer of water is not maintained because of low humidity, then what will happen? There will be problem in gaseous exchange. Same thing, if the carbon dioxide needs to come out, first of all it needs to enter into this layer of water and then it diffuses out into the air, in the exhaling air, right? So that's why moistening of the air is required. Understand? Now if you guys remember, in the plants, carbon dioxide diffuses into the air spaces through stomata, right? But first it absorbs onto the surface of layer of water onto the spongy mesophyll cells. Then it enters into the cells. Remember that or not? We learned that. So that happens. Yes.
Why is it hard to breathe in like tropical conditions?
Yes. Because the air becomes heavier because of the high humidity. Even over here, the people, you see, we have become used to of breathing into thin air. When it rains, here in Saudi Arabia, especially in Riyadh, there are a lot of cases of asthma. I have seen myself that you see people, so many deaths happens because of the just rainy season. In other areas, you see rain is very good, but here it brings a lot of chaos. If you go to the hospitals, they are filled with asthmatic patients during the rain season because the air becomes very heavy. Even the normal people who are not allergic to dust and rain, they also feel trouble in breathing because air becomes heavier because of the high humidity, right?
Asthma.
Yeah.
What's
Asthma is the condition in which person feels trouble in breathing, and it happens because of some allergic reaction. In asthma, what happens actually, the people when they are allergic to something, like some people they are allergic to dust. So when the dust particles enter inside the lungs, inside the trachea, there is an allergic reaction. If you guys remember, I talked about histamines and antihistamines, right? Last time. So because of the presence of the histamines, these are special chemicals which are allergens, what happens that there is excessive production of mucus. There is mucus, I told you, inside this trachea as well. So when there is excessive production of mucus, what will happen? Trachea will become narrow. Not only that will happen, there is swelling as well happening in the walls of the trachea. So the air passageways become narrow. So less air goes in. Got it? So that is asthma. Now, next thing which we are going to talk about, warming of the air. I just told you right now, the temperature over here is, now it has become 12 degrees. It was 11 degrees few minutes ago. Now, we say 12 degrees is the temperature over here. And blood carries heat, we have learned that. We are endotherms, right, and homeotherms. Homeotherms means that our body temperature remains the same, whatever happens, right? And endotherms means that we produce heat inside our body. These are two different terminologies. Our body temperature is 37 degrees. Now you guys have learned in chemistry the laws of thermodynamics, right? Heat is always transferred from warmer object to the colder object. So what will happen? The heat will be transferred from the blood to the air, and air will become what? Warm, right? So what has happened? Dust and germs are removed by the, you see, first of all nose hairs, and then by sticking to the mucus. Second, moistening of the air. The water is added to the air from the mucus, that's why mucus becomes dry, and the heat is being added from the blood into the air, and air becomes warm. Now still one story is left. Now when the dust and germs, they stick to the mucus inside our trachea, right? When they stick to the mucus inside our trachea, that mucus needs to come out. That mucus needs to come out. So what happens? That these cilia, which are hair-like structures, not hairs, if you guys remember, right? These cilia, they beat in upward direction. Now, if you guys remember that lecture, how many microtubules are present in each cilia?
8.
9. How many are present? 9. doublets of 9 if you guys remember it, right? And when there is an effective stroke, I taught you, 5 microtubules contract. And when there is recovery stroke, how many contract? 4 only, right? And 5 relax. So what happens, that these cilia, they beat in upward direction, right? So what will happen, when they will beat in upward direction, it will be an effective stroke. It will push the mucus upward. And when it is going back, it will be a recovery stroke. It will be slower. For upward, 5 microtubules will be contracting. Understand? And for going back, 4 will be contracting, 5 will be relaxing. Yes?
So won't the air push it down?
No. No. Because air has no role in it. It is attached with the cilia.
And sir, won't the particles, the dust particles,
Which
come with up?
Yes, that is the main reason, that the mucus is being pushed up, so that the dust particles come out, which are being stuck in the mucus, right? And eventually what happens, all that mucus comes over here. Now you do 2 things with this mucus. Either you throw this mucus out, right? Or you swallow it. Now if you throw this mucus out, that is also fine,
Same.
right? Because at that time the dust and germs, they are out of your body. And if you swallow it, still it is 100% fine. Why? Because in your stomach there is hydrochloric acid, right? And that hydrochloric acid will, what it will do? It will destroy those germs.
So what do you mean by germ? Like pathogens?
Pathogens. There are bacteria in the air, right? So those bacteria, they will be killed by the HCl present, right? So whether you swallow or whether you throw it out, it's perfectly fine. Understood? So I hope everyone understood this, right? Now, we have, our lecture is finished, right?
Yes.
So tomorrow, inshallah, we'll start the new chapter with very small topic.